Welcome to Winchester Now. I'm Mary Blaxland. On today's programme, a group of Winchester residents fly out with aid to Uganda, and we're on the buses celebrating New Year in the city. Winchester Radio. A group of residents from Winchester have flown out to Uganda with suitcases of donated clothes to help those in need. It's one of many projects supported by Winchester Rotary Group, who've fundraised thousands of pounds for the African country over the last few years. Over the next 2 weeks, the 8 Rotarians will visit some of the projects they have sponsored at the Great Lakes Peace Centre at Kasese. I spoke to Rotary member of 36 years Nick Bell before they flew out.
Great Lakes Peace Centre was formed 5 years ago by some former Rotaractors, that's junior Rotary, and they have built up the project into a very sustainable charity which concentrates on the local community, on making sure that the inhabitants of that particular area are well catered for.
You've been out to this area before. Tell me a bit about what it's like.
It's quite a large town, about 100,000 people, but it's quite remote from Kampala. It's an 8-hour drive, and it's very near the Congo border, which does potentially create some issues because the Congo is far from a peaceful society. And one of the reasons for Great Lakes being set up was to counter the difficulties that created. It's a very beautiful area. It's very near the lakes, as the name suggests. It's also very near the Rwenzori Mountains, which we have climbed in the past.
And what about the people? What are the people like?
The people are lovely. It's an area that you can very easily fall in love with, both geographically and from the point of view of the people that live there. The children are especially appealing. They have very little, but they always have a smile on their face. They're very happy, and the adult population are very generous and welcoming, and it's a place that I love to return to every time.
And tell me a bit about some of the projects that you've been helping with, you've been sponsoring.
We have an ongoing project that we sponsor as individual Rotarians, which is an education project. And Great Lakes Peace Centre identify needy children whose parents cannot afford to pay for their education. All education has to be paid for in Uganda. There is no state education. And so for £10 a month, I think it's 15 or so Rotarians sponsor a child to attend school. We've also provided money as a club for flood relief, for hepatitis. That's a very big problem over there. So we've helped them with certain awareness schemes and that sort of thing. We've also helped to provide toilets for a primary school. So we will be going to this primary school so that the other members of my club can actually see what their money has bought, as it were. We'll be visiting 3 women's groups in very remote areas where they are starting some microfinance projects so that they can earn some money. We've also had an appeal out for children's clothes. We're taking a total of 5 extra suitcases purely of children's clothes so that we can give them out in the schools and that sort of thing. And that's also necessitated an appeal for second-hand suitcases, which I've been running around the last few days collecting from the local Winchester area. But I have to say that people in Winchester have been very generous.
And what's it like for you to see those projects? Is it quite moving to see where your money has gone and the difference it's made?
Indeed. You know, a picture speaks 1,000 words. So you actually see what you're doing. You can get a report which can be quite sort of cold and unemotional, but actually seeing the project is going to be wonderful.
That's Nick Bell from Winchester Rotary. And if you'd like to know more about their work, you can visit winchester-rotary.org. Now for a roundup of news in the Winchester area, here's Nigel.
The increased cost of living is being blamed for a number of pub closures. In a statement, managers at the Roebuck in Stockbridge Road said the business had suffered a significant drop in trade and increased running costs, compounding the impact of COVID. They predicted little improvement for 2023. The Cricketers in Easton is the latest to shut this week, with hopes it may reopen. More misery this week for rail commuters with strike action on South Western Railway. The 4-day walkout by the RMT union is the latest in a series of strikes over pay. People are being advised to only travel if absolutely necessary. Health services in Hampshire and the Isle of Wight are under increasing pressure with rising rates of flu and nearly all hospital beds full across the area. Health bosses are urging people to ensure they have had a flu jab if eligible, not to go out if poorly, and if they have relatives who are being discharged from hospital, to help them get home so that the NHS can free up beds. Hampshire libraries have received recognition for their work to help people fleeing war in Ukraine and Afghanistan. They have gained the Library Service of Sanctuary Award and been praised for providing a range of activities, practical help and community events. Libraries in the county, including the Ark in Winchester, have hosted more than 200 events to help people from Ukraine and their local hosts, including translated welcome packs, local maps and a place for people to chat and meet others. And Winchester City Football Club kicked off the new year with its first match being a Hampshire derby against Gosport Borough FC. The final score was a 2-2 draw. Winchester City's Hampshire Senior Cup third round tie will be a home match against Bashley FC and is rescheduled for Tuesday the 10th of January at 7:45pm.
Winchester Radio. It may feel like the panto season is over, but there's a very important one taking place this weekend. It's being performed at the Haymarket in Basingstoke, and it features doctors, nurses and other healthcare staff. It's raising vital funds for the Hampshire Hospitals charity, which helps the hospital here in Winchester. I spoke to director Julie Jones.
Obviously, majority of people in the cast are people that work at the hospitals, Basingstoke, Winchester and Andover. It's difficult sometimes for them if the wards are really busy, then they get called away or they can't get there in the first place. So it's quite hard, but we do always make it in the end. We're very, very lucky. We've got a good band and we've got dancers, so we built it up over the years. So we're really pleased.
It must be nice for the staff, the hospital staff, to be doing something different away from the everyday stress.
Yeah, that's one of the best things, especially like the people who are actually, on the wards as well, because I used to work on the ward myself and it's so busy. If you haven't worked on a ward, you just really don't see how manic it is. It's just so nice to get away from the ward and have some fun. We do have a laugh. And then you're also raising valuable money as well for the hospital, which is even better.
Yes, how important is it that they're raising that money? What does the charity do?
Yeah, it's the Hampshire Hospitals charity. So all the money goes back into the hospitals for staff and patients. So anything, this year, the majority of the money is going to be earmarked for the Lion Appeal, which is to, I think it's renovating the children's ward in Winchester Hospital.
And obviously that charity does make a difference in the support that they give to the staff who are coping with a lot at the moment in the NHS.
Yes, they're extremely busy, and and the hardest thing is for people to get there. They get their rehearsal schedule in September, so the idea is to go back and try to say, could you please, try to keep me off that evening? But of course, it's not always going to work. People go off sick, and the consultants, I sort of give them cameo parts, so they only attend 2, possibly 3 rehearsals, out of that 20-odd rehearsals that we do. And they've even got a WhatsApp group this time with their routines on, and they can practice them at home. Dedication for you.
And how are you feeling about the show this weekend?
Really good. It's all sorted. I've got to say it's much easier now. I'm retired. Because when I used to work full time, I'd come home and then I'd be working till about 1 o'clock every night, and it used to be, but since I've retired, I've got a lot more time. So it's a lot easier. I'm all sorted. Everything's ready. We've sold majority of the tickets, but there are still matinee tickets available. So if anybody would like to come, we'd appreciate it. As I say, all the money raised, once we paid the expenses and the theatre, their fees, etc., all the money goes then into the charity. So it's well worth it.
Now it's a time of new starts, goals and ambitions. But a survey has found nearly half of people give up their New Year's resolution within a month. Have you set yourself a challenge? We went into Winchester to find out.
I haven't got any New Year's resolutions, actually, no. But I should have some. Be better.
Have you got any New Year's resolutions this year?
Yeah, to go away on holiday a lot more.
So my New Year's resolution is to stop biting my nails, because I bite my nails and I need nice nails.
How long have you been biting your nails for?
Probably ever since I can remember. It's been a real issue, but I'm hoping to get past it with some help and some self-care.
Do you have any New Year's resolutions this year?
No.
never do. Just don't believe in it. If you want to do something, you can do it any time of the year, can't you?
I haven't made one.
Mine's to lose weight. But that's everybody's, isn't it?
Annual one.
Definitely a lose weight.
Oh, it's always the same, isn't it? Like keeping fit, but then nobody keeps it then, do they? But keeping off the alcohol.
Have you got a New Year's resolution this year?
Yeah, I've got a few.
What have you got?
Well, I mean, you got the standard lose weight, you know. I want to move unis, so there's that. What else do I want to do? I want to get better at drawing.
That's some good ones. So you're hoping to keep them all this year?
Oh, yeah, definitely. As everyone does, I suppose. Don't know if the weight one will work, but we'll try again this year.
Yeah, I think it's just all about quality time with family and friends, really prioritising that this year and stop rushing around so much.
My New Year's resolutions are, well, not to be drinking. I've got a new lease of life and I'm going to help as many people as possible. There's a lot of homeless in Winchester. There's a charity here called Trinity and they help everybody. They're the best people in the world and I'm going to try and join Trinity and help as many as I can because I've been there.
I think I'm going to give up work this year. It's not really a resolution, that is it? It's just what am I going to do this year that's different to last year? So there you go. And I won't break that one, hopefully.
Haven't made any at all because I always break them. So it's no point.
Well, good luck if you set yourself a resolution. Now here with our weekly shout-outs is Anna.
Charity concert organisers have thanked people for turning out to support them during the cold weather. Take Note's festive concert at Milner Hall in Winchester saw a full house and the evening raised £600 for the Winchester Basics Bank and £300 for Romsey Food Bank. A shout out to the 3rd Winchester City Brownies, who donated toys and gifts to Northbrook Children's Ward at the Royal Hampshire County Hospital. The boxes of goodies were delivered by a number of children and their families. Hampshire Hospitals charity has thanked them for their kindness. Congratulations to an emergency call handler at Hampshire Police, who has received a national award for her work. Justina Zool was recognised at the Inspire Justice Awards for her ability to handle emergency calls in multiple languages. She joined the force through the apprenticeship scheme and is now said to be an integral part of the call handling team. The Chief Constable of Hampshire, Olivia Pinkney, described Justina as outstanding. Shout out to the teams at Hampshire and Isle of Wight Fire and Rescue for making life safer across the county. Figures show in 2022 they responded to more than 20,000 incidents and completed 12,000 home fire safety visits. They also received more than 600 calls during Storm Eunice and 700 during the summer heatwave. And there has been special recognition to a number of Winchester residents in the King's First New Year's Honours List. Among them are Claire Hobbs, who set up the Wessex Dance Academy and received an award for services to young people. Beverly Harden received an award for services to healthcare. She is a visiting professor at the University of Winchester, undertaking research and helping train the future healthcare workforce. And John Sutton received an OBE for his charitable fundraising concerts. He has organised events over many years, raising money for charities including Naomi House and Jack's Place.
Winchester Radio.
The King Alfred buses were out and about in Winchester on New Year's Day, taking passengers on a trip down memory lane. The annual event is organised by the Friends of King Alfred buses to allow people to experience the sights and smells of these old machines and also fundraise to keep them on the road. I joined one of the journeys. I'm on a 1956 double-decker King Alfred bus heading from the Broadway to Oliver's Battery. It's one of a number of King Alfred and other heritage buses out and about in Winchester this New Year's Day. It's brought enthusiasts, families and visitors of all ages from far and wide to experience the nostalgia.
So I've lived in Winchester since 1959, so I remember all these old buses and I like to take the opportunity to ride on them again. Brings back memories because I'm 80 now, so I prefer the older buses than the new ones.
How far have you come from today?
From Farnborough, about 45 minutes drive.
And why come all this way?
Oh, because it's just a lovely day out. It's very, very enjoyable. Takes you back to the old days, yes.
What's it like riding on these old buses?
It's a slower pace of life. It's very nice. They're beautifully restored. A lot of time and effort has gone into restoring them, and it's nice just to enjoy them.
What was it like going on the bus today?
Yeah, it was fun. We do it quite a lot, so good experience for little one and her seeing the age of the buses at her age. So yeah, it's really interesting.
And how far have you come to do this today?
Salisbury. We travel quite a way around, sort of Hampshire, Wiltshire. Furthest we've been is Exmouth.
What makes them so special to you?
It's my husband's hobby, but we had a Bedford OB for our wedding day, so it makes it just even more special.
So they have one in May and on New Year's, and I come here both times just because it's nice to look at these amazing historical artefacts.
What's it like to actually ride on it?
It's actually really comfortable, and it's just nice that they can bring these back and people can still enjoy them today.
This is an annual event in Winchester. These old buses are following old routes around the city. Although these days they have parked cars to navigate, and these hefty vehicles are not as easy to drive as their modern counterparts. On board, an air of excitement, and onlookers take photos as we travel around the city. The conductor gives out tickets, another hark back to the past.
OK, tickets please. Let me see your tickets please. There's a nice ticket for you. Thank you very much. Hold tight please, hold tight.
Hi, I'm James Wake, the conductor coordinator for Friends of King Alfred buses.
What's it like being a conductor on the bus?
Excellent fun. Done it for about 12 years now.
And tell me about the role, because we don't have conductors anymore on the buses. Tell me a bit about the role.
Well, the conductor's in charge of the bus. They look after the safety of all the passengers on board, so it eases pressure on the driver. We also go around issuing souvenir tickets as well, just like the old days, so then everyone can enjoy the full experience.
Yes, you've got the old-fashioned ticket machine, haven't you? Tell me a bit about that.
Yes, we have various set-right machines in our collection that were used on the King Alfred buses up until the 1970s.
And what do people say when they see you doing the conducting and giving out the tickets?
They're super happy. Some people it's like down memory lane, some people it's an education, and they enjoy seeing what it was like 50 years ago.
Hi, I'm David Conway. I'm driving for King Alfred today.
What's it like driving these lovely old buses?
Completely different to a modern bus. There's no power steering. It's a semi-automatic gearbox. Some of them are manual gearboxes. So you do find yourself getting a good workout when they're full of people.
And you've come from Cardiff today. What's brought you all this way for this event?
It's an interest. So I work for the bus industry. I work for Cardiff Bus. And one of my hobbies has always been buses. So that's why I work in it. That's why I volunteer for King Alfred and like driving these around Winchester. It's a unique thing for Winchester. There's no other city that I can think of that has such a large collection of what once was here, and it's something the city should take pride in the fact that we come and do this as well.
The buses all run for free, and they'll be out and about in Winchester again in May. Well, that's it for today. Many thanks for listening. And don't forget, if you have a story to share with us, do get in touch at news@winchester.radio. Goodbye until next week.